Good Monday morning. The time now is 10 a.m. You're listening to WDBX FM Carbondale, specifically the show Talk the Town. I'm your host, Amy Fox, as well as our other host, Mr. Gary Williams. It's been a while since we've had you in here.
Thanks for having me back, Amy.
We're glad to have you, and I feel like every time you come along, you bring rain with you. So we're going to have to fix that.
Yeah, well, sorry about that. But, I try to stay positive
yes,
all the time.
Yes,
but,
that's all we can ask of you. And we have two very special guests in studio this morning. We have Kim Talley and also Eric Bauman, both with Special Olympics of Illinois. Thanks so much for joining us, both of you. And you are gearing up for a very, very busy weekend next week. Tell us about it.
Yes, we are. We have the Polar Plunge and the Donut Dash 5K, and those are going to be held at the SIU Campus Lake at the new Becker Pavilion that's been recently completely redone for those that haven't seen it. We're very excited. The Polar Plunge is it's a key event for fundraising so that we can continue to allow free access to athletics for individuals with intellectual disabilities in the 24 regions of Southern Illinois. We're pretty excited because we have events, and a lot of people don't know this, throughout the entire year. Some people think Special Olympics is a one-time event. We actually run 14 different sports in just this region, 17 throughout the state. We have 1,600 athletes, and they can have so many different sports and activities, from gymnastics to golf to flag football, basketball, bocce. Eric can tell you a little bit more about some of the ones that he does, but we're very excited because events like Polar Plunge and the 5K give us a chance to continue to have funding to offer these athletics to all these different individuals. And their spirit and their energy, if you haven't been to an event, is so captivating, and you just get motivated and excited and just joyful watching. So the Polar Plunge is exciting because you get to get in the water, get to raise money, get to spend time with your friends and family. We're going to have a post-plunge event at the Moose Lodge in Murfreesboro, and we're also going to have the Donut Dash 5K with help from Dunkin' Donuts to offer some donut holes. So anyone who runs will get a minute off their time for every donut hole at a stop that they consume throughout the race, which is funny because it's Law Enforcement Torch Run who helps us with that. We're so excited to have the support of local law enforcement. They give us so much support, millions of dollars a year just in Illinois, and your own Carbondale Police Department and SIU Police are very helpful with that. So we appreciate that support.
And this is all being held at Campus Lake?
That's correct.
And it's next, could you remind us the date?
Sure, February 23rd. The 5K will start at 10 a.m. And then we also have the plunge will start at noon. Registration for the 5K will start at 8 a.m. Registration for the plunge starts at 10 a.m.
Wow, so lots of things going on, and you can really make a day of it, bring the whole family out, and it's a really fun atmosphere, and you don't have to be an all-star athlete to participate.
No, in fact, you don't even actually have to get in the water. There are people who are what we call dry plungers. They just raise money and they show up, they cheer on. A lot of the folks do some crazy diving into the water. They wear a lot of costumes. We have teams. We have corporate teams. We have several teams that are from schools. And then quite a few fraternities and sororities from SIU this year, which we're really excited to see the student engagement.
And what is the cost to sign up for one of these events or all of these events?
Sure. It's $30 if you do it in advance for the 5K, $35 that day. For the Polar Plunge, we just ask that you get a minimum donation of $100 in order to get the sweatshirt, which the people seem to love the sweatshirt. Mm-hmm. And that can all be easily done online. You can also collect on your own. We accept cash or check upon that day when they come in. So it's pretty easy. If you can just get donations from friends and family, anyone can participate.
And one thing I do want to point out is all of these donations go back to help Special Olympics and helping kids like Eric have a wonderful experience, get to try out different sports.
Absolutely, yes. 79 cents of every dollar with Special Olympics of Illinois goes directly back to our athletes. And that's a pretty big number for a large organization.
And Eric, if you want to tell us a little bit about your experience with Special Olympics, and you guys can't see Eric right now, but Eric is sporting several different medals that I'm assuming you've gotten competing.
I have, these are just a few. I have over 150 medals.
Oh my goodness.
I've also been to World Games in Ireland, but Special Olympics is about having the support, and also with the support comes you can do things with people like me that can go out and just showcase our medals and people like that.
And what sports do you participate in, Eric?
I used to do 7 or 8 sports, but I've cut it down to 3. So I've done like gymnastics, bocce, bowling, basketball, softball, snowshoeing, flag football.
Wow. And how many years have you been involved with Special Olympics?
I started Special Olympics when I was 19 and when I was 9 years old.
Well, that's wonderful. And growing up in this community, in this organization, what has the experience been like for you? Obviously, you've gotten to go a lot of really cool places.
I have gotten to go to a lot of cool places, and I'm beyond blessed. But it's an experience that a lot of people don't get to see. But Special Olympics makes sure the athlete shines.
And why should people come out on next Saturday to participate in the Polar Plunge, in the 5K?
Well, I think it gives them a chance to show off what they're capable, but also it gives them that they support the athletes, and the athletes really appreciate it and beyond grateful for the thing they can do for free.
And also, when is your next sporting event? Do you compete pretty regularly?
Yeah, I do compete pretty regularly. Yesterday we were supposed to go to basketball. But fortunately, it got freezing rain and we couldn't go. But that was the last event, so the next one's probably spring games.
And I'm sure it takes a lot of practice to be an athlete like yourself.
Yeah, it does, and it's also fun, but it's worthwhile. And then.
Great. And going back to the event next Saturday, if people are kind of on the fence, so participating, not participating, what should kind of push them over the edge?
Well, they'll get to meet a lot of athletes and see them. A lot of our athletes actually plunge. And so they get a chance to take pictures. They get a chance to see the interaction between the athletes and some of our volunteers. We have a lot of volunteers from SIU. And so I think that partnership in the community with SIU, with Special Olympics, and the community as a whole really just brings more value to people, gives them a chance to feel like Carbondale is their hometown and their chance to give back and to enjoy some recreation, even though it's February.
and we were just chatting about earlier, Kim, we have a long history here with Special Olympics. Do you want to touch on that real quick? Because I think a lot of folks
I would
are
love
surprised.
to. Last year was our 50th anniversary of the first ever games, and Eunice Shriver, of course, was well known as a supporter and founder of Special Olympics. Those events were actually held at Soldier Field in Chicago 50 years ago in 1968. What people don't often know is that those coaches for that first event were actually trained right here in our backyard at Touch of Nature. And so that means we're the growth place, the birthplace of where Special Olympics was created, formed, and cared for and nurtured. And we want to continue that. We have a great tradition with that here that we want to keep showing. We also have a little bit of a competition going with SIU, with the other universities. There's actually a university challenge, and I would really love to beat ISU, and I really need our SIU students to step up and help us with that because they get us every year, and we want to go after them. We want to pass up everybody else. So the community can help with that. So the bigger our plunge is as a whole, the better that we compete as a university town against those other university towns in the Polar Plunge statewide.
And for first-time plungers, I'm sure the reaction varies, but it's a very fun experience for most people.
Yeah, my nephews have actually done it. They actually participate. We also have an event at Rend Lake. So if someone is unavailable to come to the February 23rd here, they could go to Rend Lake and plunge on March 2nd. My nephews are actually very active and have plunged since they were very young. I think Anderson started at 3. So, and then we've got folks that are, we do have a youngest plunger award. We have an oldest plunger award. We have awards for the runners. We have folks who, just get their toes wet, and we have some that do a whole, dive in. We do have divers that are in the area, as well as lifeguards from the rec center. We appreciate all the support from our sponsors. We have a new partnership this year as a region with the Miners and the Canadian Wild team out of Rent One Park in Marion. We've got a lot of partnerships with Coca-Cola and Pepsi and many other supporters that really help make sure our events go smoothly throughout the year. We're also having a pre-registration event at Primo's Pizza on Friday evening, the 22nd. So you can come and get your sweatshirt, drop off your donations, maybe not have to wait in line quite as long, or pick up your race bib as well. So that gives some people a chance to come to Primo's, get something to eat, say hi to some of our athletes, and get pre-registered so they can just show up in case the weather is not what we hope. Mm-hmm. There will be hot chocolate for sale by the AMA group, which is an RSO group right here registered at SIU, and they are actually been really big supporters and partners of ours over the years. And it gives them a training ground for doing some marketing for a charitable organization, and we appreciate that support as well.
And I'm sure you need a lot of volunteers to make this event a big success.
We do. If someone wants to register to volunteer, we are still taking volunteers. You can help hand out donuts on the race. You can help with lining up folks, doing costume judging, helping with our photos, helping to do registration line. We have a lot of options. To do that, you go to soill.org/Region K. And then all of the calendar of events. So any type of event, if you wanted to register to volunteer for our events, is right there. You pick the event and just click on the volunteer, and it'll walk you through how to do that. If someone wants to register to plunge or race, they can go to www.plungeillinois.com. And that will give them all the information they need. There's even teams, if they just want to support a plunger with a $5 donation, they can.
Right. And if someone is just now joining us here on Talk of the Town, we are specifically talking about the Polar Plunge and Donut Dash happening at Campus Lake next Saturday, February 23rd, all to support Special Olympics here in Illinois. And can you tell us a little bit about this organization and how it helps families in the community?
Sure. We serve anyone who is with an intellectual disability, and that can range. A lot of times we'll see folks with severe physical disabilities, and then we have high-functioning individuals, but their age is 2 all the way to 100 plus. And that's often not something that people are aware of. The Young Athletes program is really a big deal for us. We do that right here at Parish Elementary. And so those kids get a chance to compete in motor skill activities that are really beneficial to all kids at that younger age, from maybe 2 to 7. And so we enjoy those as a local area. It gives kids a chance to understand that inclusion is a big deal. It helps to avoid bullying of folks with intellectual disabilities as they continue through school. And so the Inclusion Revolution and Unified Sports is the future of Special Olympics, and Carbondale's a great breeding ground for that.
Great. And proceeds from next Saturday go back to directly support your organization.
Absolutely. Right here in Region K, we offer so many events, and so that funding is so beneficial to 1,600 plus athletes right in the 24 counties of Southern Illinois.
And once again, if someone would like to sign up for next weekend's either 5K or Polar Plunge, or hopefully both of them, how can they go about getting signed up?
Sure, they can go to www.plungeillinois.com, and that will get them right to SIU Campus Lake, or if they want to do the Run Lake, if that's easier, either one of those is available, and we would love to see them there. We will take some that day. It's a little trickier setup, so we prefer if you can do it in advance, but we'll take it and work with you however we can.
Great. Lots of good information. Kim Talley and Eric Bauman, both with Special Olympics. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
And we are going to take a short break and get you some announcements, and we'll be right back.
Good morning, this is Alicia with the City of Carbondale, here to bring you this week's calendar of events. Beginning February 11th through February 14th, the SIU Plant Biology Department is hosting the SIU Darwin Week. Events will take place at Morris Library, located at 605 Agriculture Drive in Carbondale. Join them as they dive into the unrevealed world of microbes and other creatures, and to explore the cutting-edge research happening at SIU. For more information, contact the SIUC Plant Biology Department. And on Wednesday, February 13, 2019, beginning at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's the Informational Employment Workshop. Learn about permanent employment opportunities and application procedures from the City of Carbondale, Southern Illinois Healthcare, and Southern Illinois University at the SIU Student Center Old Main Room, located at 1255 Lincoln Drive in Carbondale. For more information, call 618-453-5738. And on Saturday, February 16, 2019, it's Fresh Fitness. The exercise class will be held this Saturday during the Carbondale Community Farmers Market beginning at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. SIU Student Recreation Center instructors will teach a variety of cardio and strength training. No experience is necessary. Participants are encouraged to wear comfortable clothes and bring a water bottle, towel, and or yoga mat. A cash donation of $5 is suggested. If you have questions or would like more information, call 618-559-1939. Help celebrate National Girls and Women in Sports Day on Sunday, February 17, 2019, beginning at 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the SIU Arena. The Leadership Fair will take place around the concourse inside SIU Arena prior to the Salukis women's basketball game versus Illinois State. There will be stations set up for female student athletes and coaches along with other groups in the community to talk about role models and encourage the empowerment of women in sports and the opportunities it provides. Each participant 12 years and under receive free admission. Adults can purchase tickets for the entire evening for only $5. For more information, please contact the SIU Arena. For information on these events and others, please visit our website at WDBX.org or explorecarbondale.com, or you can reach us by phone at 618-457-3228. Thank you and have a great week.
Good Monday morning to you. The time now is 10:17 a.m. You're listening to WDBX FM Carbondale, specifically Talk the Town. And we are joined in studio this morning with J.D. Tanner with Touch of Nature. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
And you guys have a lot of stuff going on. We'll start with the thing that's coming up the soonest, which would be the Maple Syrup Festival. And if you've been in Southern Illinois for any length of time, you know that this is a pretty big deal.
We like to think it's a big deal. Yeah, it's definitely become a bigger and bigger deal for us over the past few years. Our numbers of participation have gone up, which is exciting. We're really happy to see that many people wanting to get outdoors in February.
And if someone has never been to this, explain kind of what you guys have going on, because I know there's food involved, but there's also some activities for the kids as well.
There is. So, I mean, the roots of it are we produce maple syrup on site. So that's the big thing that kind of started it all. So there's an educational component. We teach and we show people about that process. And so those are part of the activities. So you can go on a little nature hike in the middle of the day, and you can learn all about the process of producing maple syrup from maple trees here in Southern Illinois. In addition to that, we invite other groups from the main campus, like the Forestry Club, out, and they come out and they do demonstrations on sawing logs and chopping wood, and other groups might come out, blacksmithing groups. We do space for artisans and vendors from the area to come out and show off some of their artistic work as well. And then, of course, pancakes and maple syrup.
And do people need to buy tickets in advance, or can they just show up next Saturday and Sunday and get tickets there?
Obviously, it's nice when people register ahead of time, and that is an option for us. So you can register online on the Touch of Nature website ahead of time, which is great because that helps us purchasing food and planning and all of those things. So yes, we encourage that, but it is definitely not required. You can walk in the day of and buy tickets to eat. Just participation in the activities is free. So if you don't want to eat, you can just come out and you can walk around and just see what all's going on.
But now, listen, if I want to get the real maple syrup, the really good stuff, I should probably get there early, right?
I would definitely encourage you to get there early. If we have weather like we've had the past few years and it's 60 or 70 degrees, there'll be a pretty long line, I would imagine. If that random ice storm blows through, it might be a little bit slower if you can get out to us.
And what are the hours of operations for the syrup festival, Maple Syrup Festival?
The actual fest runs 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. And then we just serve pancakes until 1 p.m.
Okay.
But you can stick around with a full belly for a little while and still do activities until 3.
Gary's face is lighting up.
Just talking about this.
Yeah.
Take care of your
Yeah.
fitness and then go have some pancakes.
Go for a little hike in the woods. I mean, if you're really brave and you haven't already plunged that same weekend, on the main campus, come out and plunge in a little grassy lake if you're feeling crazy.
Wow, make a weekend of it. And it's hard to believe, but we're already talking about summer and some of the great camps you guys offer out at Touch of Nature. And there is a bit of a discount if people choose to sign up now versus later on in the year.
Yeah, I was afraid you might throw that one at me. We've had a couple of different early bird and specialty rates going on, so I think the early bird still applies. So you can still get on there and get a little bit of a discount for signing up for camps now.
And what types of camps do you guys offer in case someone's not familiar?
Yeah, so our traditional camp is Camp Little Giant for children and adults with disabilities, and that age range is super wide. I think we put on advertising from 8 years old to 88 years old. So you can come out to Camp Little Giant, which pretty much runs all summer, June, July, and that first week of August. But then we also do adventure camps for kids ages 7 to 13, and so they're definitely a lot of those day camps. Some of them are overnight camps, a lot of zip lining and rock climbing and swimming and canoeing and kayaking with educational components built into those camps as well. We partner with the Girl Scouts in this area, so for a couple of weeks in July, the end of July and the first part of August, you can actually come out and attend Girl Scout camps out at Touch of Nature as well.
That's awesome. And it's probably a really great way to get kids exposed to the outdoors at a young age.
Yes. I mean, obviously that's, kind of our overall hope with camp is that we can get kids outdoors and start to build a connection to the outdoors so they can understand the importance of, taking care of our outdoors, but then look into the outdoors, as a way to get away from things, put down your smartphone for a little while and just get outside and experience Southern Illinois. And hopefully that builds to more and more connections with the outdoors.
And one thing, too, it exposes them to all different types of activities so they can really find what areas they maybe really like and what areas they don't like so much.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's promoting a lot of things, not just that connection to the outdoors, but it's promoting health and wellness in the outdoors. And you never know, it could lead to a career for somebody in the outdoors. I didn't attend camp, but my career is in the outdoors. And so you just never know.
And if someone would like to learn more about the different programs, different camps that you folks offer at Touch of Nature, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, the best way is just to get on the website, ton.siu.edu, and browse around through all of the offerings that we have for camp and find what fits you.
And once again, you offer those all summer long.
Yeah, starting in the first full week of June up until the first full week of August. And then we kind of kick in, and we actually do a freshman orientation camp once we get into August.
Wow, you guys stay very busy.
We do, yes.
And one thing I do want to point out, you are working on a great project, not only for Carbondale, but Southern Illinois, having to do with bike trails.
Yep.
If you want to tell a little bit about that project and kind of where you are in the process. I know it's a very long process.
It has turned into a much longer process than I had originally hoped for and planned, but that's okay. That's, sometimes when you've got a lot of different politics in something, that's just the way it is. But as far as where we are in the process, we have about a 30-mile conceptual trail plan and partial design already completed. And then, as a lot of folks might know, that we just received a recreational trail program grant for $200,000. We're working through university procurement processes right now to be able to get out a request for builders in the area to start bidding on that project. We're really hoping to have somebody signed onto that within the next about 90 days is our hope. And then we would love to see those builders in sometime this summer. But I think more than likely we're going to see a lot of them coming in sometime in the fall, probably.
And this first section is how many miles, JD?
It's what's built in is about 5.5 to 6 miles into that grant. But I will say that we were pretty liberal in our estimates, and we're hoping that we'll see a few more miles come out of that. We're shooting for 8 to 10. Okay. With our volunteer crew that's currently building, we could easily see 8 to 10 miles open.
And then what's your anticipated date to complete that first phase?
And it all depends. If procurement processes go pretty speedy, I'm hoping to have something mid to late fall open.
Great.
But spring would be a pretty safe bet for 2020.
And I know you've explained this before, but this would be really the first of its kind here in southern Illinois and really all across the region.
Yeah, as far as like actual designated mountain biking trails, yeah, we would be one of the few areas here in southern Illinois, if not the only. I'm personally not aware of an actual designated mountain bike trail in southern Illinois. So we, as far as I know, and then with the features and the components that we're putting into it, including a kids pump track and an adult pump track, I mean, these are the big attractive features that'll bring people from out of state and possibly from around the world that want to come here and ride and spend 2, 3, 4, maybe even a full week worth of time here in this area. When you include all of the wineries and all of the other things that we have going on in this area, we'll see people come and stay for a while.
And why is a project like this so important, not only to Touch of Nature and Carbondale, but for southern Illinois, probably for the tourism factors?
Well, yeah, definitely for the tourism factors, it's important. In the outdoor industry, where I've spent most of my professional career, it's just what we do. We find ways to attract people into areas, but for Touch of Nature specifically, it's just important for us to continue to show to the university and to Carbondale and the surrounding towns how important we feel like we are as a part of the university and a part of this area, the things that we can offer. We've offered so many different things to this community through Camp Little Giant and from all of those social services that we've offered through the years. And now we have an opportunity to show this economic thing that we can also offer to the community. I think it's really exciting for us.
And is there anything that the community can do to help you folks with this project?
Sure. There's a lot of things that just depends on what level people would want to be involved in it. We do volunteer build days, so people that wanted to just come out and build, they could definitely do that. And that information's on our website as well. If there's somebody that wanted to support it on a bigger level, we'll work with donors and sponsors. I mean, it's all being set up through the SIU Foundation. So if somebody wants to come out and be a big part of it, they can.
Great. And if someone wants to learn more about this project, I've been on your website before. You do have a tab or some information on there that kind of explains this in depth.
Yeah, you can actually see the full concept plan and design actually on our website, along with those volunteer build days, along with some data on what mountain biking is doing in other parts of the United States, specifically the Midwest, where mountain biking is booming right now. For once, Carbondale, we could be like right at the front of the pack. It's pretty exciting.
Fastest growing high school sport in America.
Yeah, it is through the different programs that are going on. 10 to 12,000 athletes are in high school mountain biking right now.
Great. Lots of good information, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that we see this come to life in just a few months.
It's pretty exciting.
J.D. Tanner with Touch of Nature, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
And that's all the time we have for this morning. We hope you have a wonderful Monday, and have a great day.
You'll have a good morning when you tune in to Grandma's Jazz, Saturday morning from 10 till noon. Hi, I'm Jean Armstrong, host of Grandma's Jazz. Join me for lots of wonderful music and not too much talk. Remember, make it Grandma's Jazz, 10 a.m. Saturday on 91.1 FM and streaming live on WDBX.org.
The stars were shining bright. Now the milkman's on his way.
Support comes from Work Care, providing pre-employment physicals, drug testing services, injury management, OSHA exams, wellness and prevention service. Learn more at workcarereadywell.com.